And these next three songs are really fun. The first one's called Prelude and Fiesta. And I didn't know about this piece. I know Eric Morales. He's written a lot of great music for orchestra. I think he's written over 100 compositions. And he loves to explore different genres. And this one is just fantastic. I was at a concert in Los Gatos listening to the top chamber high school orchestra. And Sean and I were there. My daughter's in the orchestra was there. And it was just really fun to listen to her. Like, oh my gosh, next year, let's have Castellaro play this. And we got the music, we started looking at it. It is a really challenging composition. The rhythms are not intuitive, they're very syncopated. And the bass part are wonderful bass players. They have been trained to play on the strong beats of a measure, beats 1 and beats 3. Those almost don't exist in this piece. They almost always play off of beat 2 or off of beat 4. It's very discombobulating if your entire training has put you in a different place in the measure. And they've worked really, really hard. And so what we've done in the orchestra in the morning is we have a metronome and we just go very, very slowly and we just make progress every day. And it was a great reminder for all the students, if there's something that's very complex, break it down to its simplest form, slow it down so that you're able to successfully play it, and then work the tempo up in correct repetitions. Because one of the things that we all know as we get older is if you did something incorrectly 9 times, and then the 10th time you finally get it right, the muscle memory is still going to veer towards those initial 9 times. And so then we don't want to do too many incorrect repetitions, we want to work on correct repetitions. So it takes a lot of focus, it takes a lot of self-discipline to want to get better. Once you make the choice to get better, is finding those tools to get better. And so these guys work so hard, managing with their metronome and setting themselves up to be successful with this first piece. Then we go into this great piece called Snake River Stomp, it's a giddy up yeehaw, and then we finish with this epic tale called Minotaur. I'm going to ask that Sean, if you could give an A, and let these instruments that have been in the heat for so long, so everybody check your A. And because the orchestra goes so far back, we're going to keep the lights on inside the band room, and we'll invite our Indigo students to be sort of part of the show since they're invisible sightlines with all of you. So again, this first tune is called Prelude and Fiesta. It has this fun little solo section in the middle. And again, it's just such a great rhythm and so great for these young people to learn how to play in this style. This is Prelude and Fiesta. Next up is Snake River Stomp, and it's by Stephen Lavin, and it looks like we're getting a bass exchange. Wow, this is just like a real rock concert. We went through one instrument, we're like Johnny B. Good, and a grand piano off the front stage. Oh, great, all right, Manier's back. And next, great. So Snake River Stomp, this is really fun. Lots of great accents, a beautiful middle section. You're going to enjoy listening. Here comes a heavy hoedown, Snake River Stomp. years worth of repertoire for all the different levels. Since this is their 7th or 8th concert set, it adds up to become a lot of music that we own, a lot of music that we play, but there are some things that they just sort of beg to play again. And when these 8th graders were 7th graders at the winter concert a year and a half ago, they were playing Minotaur. And it was probably really hard for them because it's a grade 4 and it was a big challenge, and here they are a year later, comfortably leading this orchestra. This is the story of Theseus finding his way into the labyrinth and battling the Minotaur. You'll hear the story, you'll hear the character of the Minotaur, this very low, rumbling sound in the cellos and basses. You'll hear the entrance of our hero Theseus in the viola section. You'll hear him meet Princess Ariadne, and she's like, sure, I'll love you and we can live happily ever after, but you gotta go kill a Minotaur for me. Thus starting, I'm sure, a very healthy relationship on conditions. And then you'll hear him go into the labyrinth. It's very dark, it's very twisty, you don't know what's around the corner. You'll hear when the labyrinth, when Theseus meets the Minotaur, it'll be depicted inside the lower strings. You can almost hear the hooves pulling through the gravel, and then you'll hear Theseus and the Minotaur battle, Theseus being victorious and reuniting with Princess Ariadne. This is Minotaur. We have a final act with our light show, but first we're going to hand the microphone over to Calvi.
Okay, hi. So, as you know, this is mine and all the other 8th graders' last orchestra concert. And we really love orchestra a lot, so we prepared some speeches to show for Mr. K and just for orchestra in general. Okay. Chamber kids, remember, this is from the chamber kids, yeah. Okay, yeah. Chamber kids, when someone done their speech, raise your hand so we can just pass the mic on to whoever's closest. Next.
Mr. K, as you always say, no need to state the obvious. That's why I'm not going to go over on how an amazing teacher you are, how a great person you are, how skilled you are at cello, or how amazing you are in general. But I'll get right to the point. Ever since 4th grade, you've had to deal with me, an annoying nuisance that's always plucked while you were talking. And that was probably your only mistake that you made in your teaching career. Teaching me how to plug. You've dealt with me throughout 4th, 5th, 6th, and believe it or not, even when I was a 7th grade boy, it was not good. You should have let's face it, you should have probably yelled at me years ago to pay attention, but that lecture never came. You've always endured with me, but at the same time, always made my life so much better. You always lighten the mood in class, and your never-ending positive energy, which I one day want to achieve for myself, always lifts the loads of linear equations off our shoulders. But the main thing that I came up to here to say was thank you. I know you've probably heard this an infinite amount of times from parents, students, and teachers alike, but I wanted to not just thank you for teaching us, but for making the world a better place. I want to thank you for sharing our knowledge with all of us, no matter how annoying we can be, or how much we can do pizzicato. But I want to thank you for helping all of us understand how to function, how to listen, and how to be an amazing person. Now as we move on to unfamiliar territory, we'll be nervous for sure, but we will always remember the bright beam of light that you were in our lives. And one last time, I wanted to thank you.
Dear Mr. K, thank you for being such an elegant, exquisite, and magnificent teacher. You weren't just a teacher to us. You were a guide, a cheerleader, and a supporter, even though I cried in the 6th grade for breaking my bell. Some of our happiest moments will be in the orchestra room. From our first concert to people coming in 3 measures early, you still encouraged us, turning our mistakes into listenable music. You believed in ourselves, even though we told ourselves, I can't do it.
You were patient, even though the orchestra might still be playing 10 measures after you told us to stop. And then, sometimes Gian and I being a distraction to you and the whole viola section.
As we move on to high school, we won't move on from you. We take every lesson, your patience, your kindness, and your passion for music, which stay with us. You taught us more than how to play our instrument. You taught us to be the best version of ourselves.
So thank you, Mr. K. Thank you for every lesson you taught us, the encouragement to keep moving forward, to play with passion, and to always stay on beat.
Dear Mr. K, I wanted to thank you for helping me through my journey through the orchestra program. I wanted to thank you for helping me out through my tough times, of course, with me thinking that orchestra had the piano, and I always had to choose the viola because it felt like destiny to me. And also I wanted to thank you for always teaching me what scales to play, what notes that have to be corrected, what about the instrument that needs to be fixed, and also thanks for fixing my strings as well. I wanted to say, as a beginner in the 7th grade, I wanted to thank you for helping me, teaching me the way of the viola, and also helping me get into indigo in the 2nd semester of 7th grade. And now I'm here as an 8th grader, as a chamber orchestra person. I want to thank you for every way of my journey for being here, and I couldn't express myself, but I'm very honored to be in this program and to be with you as well. Also, with all of these amazing orchestra students as well, I would probably call my brothers and sisters, and also my best friends, of course. And I believe that I know the future of this orchestra program will do better, and soon the future of our orchestra program will do better, maybe than this. And since we're all moving to high school, I hope that the new incoming 8th graders probably a little more mature than us, a little respectful. And maybe they might sound a bit better. Just temporary. Thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you for teaching us. Thank you for everything. We're all truly honored for you teaching us.
This year has been crazy, and I wanted to say thank you for everything. For always believing in us when we didn't believe in ourselves. Putting in more work than anyone could have ever asked for. Not because you wanted to, but because you actually genuinely cared. Your impact has not only changed how we play in orchestra, but how we handle things in life. You taught us to always strive to be better, and never settle for good enough. You always had our backs and understood what we were going through. You helped us persevere when things got hard or painful. You found a way to include me when I was stuck in a wrist brace, a sling, or a wheelchair. You helped me get through the hard times, and that's what makes us who we are. No matter where life takes us, a part of your influence will always be with us, not only in orchestra, but in life. And for that, I am forever grateful.
Dear Mr. K, from the very beginning, your goal wasn't just to teach us how to play instruments, it was to make the world a better place. You always talked about creating functional humans, and I truly think you've done that. You came into class every single day with a smile, and I don't think you realized how many people that smile impacted. Orchestra became a place where I felt comfortable and excited to be every day because I knew the people I cared about would be there. And all of us were brought together by one person and one passion, you and your love for music. You have worked incredibly hard for this program, bringing us so many opportunities and memories that will last a lifetime. Your hard work and dedication goes unrecognized, especially on those long sleepless nights. But really, you are showing us the person we all want to be. Someone dedicated to making the world a better place and contributing the best self. Even though this chapter of our lives is coming to a close, what you've given us won't end here. The memories we've made, the lessons we've learned, are things we'll carry with us for the rest of our lives. I know we probably don't say it enough, but we truly love and appreciate you. I honestly can't imagine my middle school experience without you in it. You've been more than just a teacher to so many of us. You've been someone who we could look up to, trust, talk to, and count on. Thank you for believing in us, supporting us, and helping us shape us into the people we are today. No matter where life takes us next, a part of us will always belong in this orchestra room. So this isn't goodbye, this is just the next chapter starting. The chapter where we have to leave you behind, for your impact will stay with us and you will bring everything you have taught us into the world. Dear Mr. K, over the past 5 years of my life I've had with you, you have given me so many countless memories, friendships, and achievements. And if I'm going to be honest, there's a million things I can say what good you've done for this orchestra. If someone were ever to ask me to describe you, the words I would use: selfless, giving, thoughtful, wise, forgiving, patient, and last but not least, unwilling to never settle for less. Mr. K, where to even start? You became my teacher in 4th grade when I joined the orchestra 2 weeks late as a violinist. To be honest, I wasn't going to do it at all, scared that I'd be too behind everyone else. But after some convincing from my mom, I decided to give it a shot. And I'm so glad I did. I've learned a lot from Mr. K, how to read notes, how to hold a bow, or how to fix my posture, but most importantly, how to become a better person. Mr. K has taught me to be kind, humble, grateful, and so much more. On those days where I may not be the best student, he always knows how to handle it with such grace and patience. And for that, I can definitely say I look up to him. Although our time at Castellero is coming to an end, we'll never forget all the memories we've made in orchestra. And we'll definitely not forget the long-lasting impact Mr. K has made on our lives. Dear Mr. K, thank you so much
us grow, not only as musicians, but also as individuals. For always pushing everyone to do their best, encouraging us always to be present, and for always being patient even when the cellos play that due to my naturals instead of drummers. I always look forward to this period and being able to make music with my friends. You are what makes this class fun and what made me love playing in orchestra.
The orchestra room transformed from just another class to go to the most comforting room on campus. We were jumping off chairs, accidentally playing in rust, and even when we had a huge jump scare that one morning the light shade broke off, we'd made some amazing memories. You taught me how to go from the scared little sixth grader to becoming the TA that taught the new sixth graders to the best of my ability. And although it was a rough transition, I honestly never thought the day would come that I would be standing up here as an eighth grader, the person I am today. And although I played my part in that transition, the amazing orchestra that you created and the person you are had a huge role in it as well. So thank you so much for everything you've done and everything I know you will continue to do for this orchestra.
Dear Mr. K, I know you've probably heard this every single year, but words genuinely cannot describe how amazing of a person you are. You are so passionate about what you do, and it's so obvious that you love doing it. Thank you for being patient with us when sometimes we didn't always deserve it. I've made so many memories with everyone on stage, whether that was laughing in the back of TA with Siobhan, or me and Mila always messing up during Zoom period. You've been there for us since day one, and I've never met a teacher who was as involved and cared enough about us more than you do. Thank you for being more than just a teacher, but an inspiration to all of us.
Mr. Cranen, words can never describe how much you mean to all of us. The amount of things you do for us just because of how passionate you really are about this job is amazing. You have helped so many people in ways that can never be explained, whether that was putting confidence in us we didn't know we had or helping us with life in general. You have supported us in everything, whether it was starting something out of school or having to do a solo in chamber. From being in our classes, I have had an amazing opportunity to meet so many new people and make so many memories. And something we will all never forget is that smile we all know and love. Your morals and passions for making this world better through music we will all carry with us to high school. These 3 years have flown by, and I could have never imagined my middle school experience without you. I cannot thank you enough nor describe what you have done for all of us. Even though we can all be a handful sometimes, especially when we're all about to fall asleep at 7 a.m., you still managed to be the best teacher I've ever had. I guess this is goodbye for now, but I promise none of us will ever forget you.
Mr. K, thank you for everything you've done to help us grow into the best versions of ourselves. But even more than that, thank you for all the joy that you brought into our lives. Every single one of us has felt it every single day that we come here. Whether it's through the jokes in class, right before you perform on stage, or just as we're walking past you to get into class, you always find a way to make us all smile. But not only did you share your joy, you shared your passion through music, by not simply teaching us how to play notes, but by teaching us how to listen, share, and create music all together. In moments that felt tense, stressful, or even overwhelming, you reminded us how to laugh and keep going. These memories are something we'll all carry with us through high school and after. So truly, thank you not just for teaching us, but for uplifting us every single time, and making middle school a little brighter every single day. We will always remember your dedication, your patience, and your kindness, while you guided us through music as well as middle school.
Mr. K, I know you've heard this a lot, but thank you so much for all you've done with us, for all 3 years having to deal with each and every single one of us, and not just teaching us how to play our instruments, but teaching us life lessons that we'll remember forever. And I still remember my first day at orientation with Sean and just getting introduced to your family, and that really helped me through my life. And I was always happy with those memories and coming to your house and eating 2 full boxes of pizza. And I just wanted to say thank you.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ayush. For the past 5 years of my life, and a bit before that too, Mr. K has been a huge influence on me in every way possible. He's known me since I was just a little 4th grader, about this tall. And since that time, he's shaped me into not only a better violinist, but a better person too. All the memories and friends made in my time in orchestra are ones that I'm not going to forget for a very, very long time. Now, we're all getting ready to leave this school and this orchestra behind, but we'll all remember just a few lessons that you've taught us. First, stay humble. Mr. K is one of the most humble people you will ever meet, and he helps us become more humble too. Even though some people may not have gotten that, just quite yet. Secondly, you've taught us how to be functioning people. That might sound crazy, but the place that you've made for us has helped us become more than just middle schoolers, which is why you are so good at what you do. And lastly, you taught us how to share our knowledge to the world. It's something that you talk about so much, it's even written in your room. And we learn to help other people, not just ourselves. Going into high school, we'll carry all these memories and lessons with us, as we too can make the world a better place. Thank you so much, Mr. K.
Last one. Mr. K, you've been my teacher for 5 years now, and suddenly after me, like a switch turning off, you'll never be my teacher ever again. Just the thought of not stepping to the orchestra room and making music with you hurt so much. Whether it was too hot or too cold, or the AC made it smell like disgusting wet socks, the room has always been a safe space for me. No matter how tired or depressed or annoyed I felt, it was like the second I started playing, all I was feeling was happiness. I'm gonna miss this little family we've created, especially you, Mr. K. I'm gonna miss the little smiles that we shared when I very strongly played the wrong note. I'm gonna miss talking about the Warriors and how bad we wanted to see our goat Curry in real life. I'll miss seeing your face of satisfaction when we really nail a piece and then forget everything we fixed the next day. And the one complaining that I'll miss these things, I'm just really trying to say thank you for all these little moments. There was really never a dull moment with you in this class in 2026. You are the greatest teacher and friend that I ever could have asked for. Thank you. Lastly, we have 2 gifts for you. Okay. So we have this poster that we made, signed by each one of us. It's not enough to show how to do it. I definitely know how much you love the Warriors. So, we have Steph Curry jersey.
It just goes to show you how great the teaching profession is. You get to make such incredible connections with students who have so much to offer the world. All day long, I'm ignorant of the headlines that are happening outside of the walls of all these great classrooms. All I see is potential and hope, and it's a pretty great way to live. Thank you for just bringing these wonderful kids into the world and showing them how to be kind and gracious with each other. I feel like everything that we do in the classroom is possible to do outside of the classroom as well. So what we do inside the orchestra room, they're now going to be taking to all these different high schools, and I hope they build communities that reflect kindness and grace and sharing their knowledge with other people. There's plenty for everybody. We just have to find a way to show how to share with everybody around us. And I certainly hope that that message resonates with them and resonates with you. And I thank you all for all that you do to make Castellaros such a special place. Thank you to all of you, and thank you to all of you. Thank you, everybody. And I know it's hard for some of them to go right back into performance mode. It's a big deal to be on stage in front of folks. It's a big deal to share things that mean a lot to you. I don't know if the first piece we're playing is as poetic as what they just offered, but it was popular. It's Firework by Katy Perry. So we're gonna turn the lights off, and we're gonna turn on the strobe lights. So we ask that if you are light sensitive, so Indigo kids, just get into a place where you can play and get as close as you can, but it's really crowded, so you might have to kind of stand in your area. Good, good, good. And Indigo, you won't get to move too far forward, so just move as close as you can, but basically in those same rows. Okay? Great.
I'll take it faster.
Look at these great kids. And while we're working on this, we're going to introduce Mr. Lightshow. They're so excited. You guys have been waiting so long. Great job. Okay. Mr. Lightshow creates all of this for us. 15 years ago, we were at World of Color on a Disney trip. And we said, let's do something like this at Castellaro. And he programmed some lights, and we started very small. And we started with just the song Clocks by Coldplay. It's grown into this massive thing now. And everything that you see was donated by Keith, who's our neighbor, and his kids came to Castellaro. And he comes every winter and spring for roughly 30 hours of donation. He works in the morning, he works throughout the day. He takes vacation time so he can come to Castellaro, because some people go to Hawaii, he comes here. And he works so hard to make these really, really special events happen. And I can't turn the lights off yet because we still have a little bit of traffic here. They're doing their best to find it. So 0 period, come on forward. And Indigo, we're just getting as close as we can. And Rami and others, you might just stand right there. That might be okay because it's not too long. And that way you can be part of it and be close. Great. And then I see for Indigo, there's some second violin options on the top of the risers. And there's some cello and viola options. Violists, you're welcome to come. If you're an Indigo violist, stand in the back of the violas right there with it. Perfect. Excellent. Go back a little bit. There you go. Right by Cal. That's it. Excellent. And then Coco and Savannah, are we looking for spots still? So Luke, if we can stand up, Luke. Yeah, great. Head on right behind Callan. We have to put some cellos in there. And Niven and Parth, stand on up for a moment. We're going to put some cellos in there too. Head right back. It's okay, we have to get our 0 period kids seated. You're going to surround us. And if you want to, Parth, you can come right behind Yuki, right here by Miguel. That'll be okay. And we're going to see if we can get a couple hundred people to all play together. This will be exciting. Good, good, good. Very good. Oh man, Google Auditorium. Google Auditorium. Let's just say it a few times now. Google Auditorium. Great, we're finding our way in. Good. And then maybe Mr. Lightshow, there's some extra music stands and we can put them up so that the violists, Angela, we can just stand right there in the row right here. Great. Now we have our seconds all set. We want people to be as comfortable as possible. That's great. Good. Arizona, come on in. Great. We need a chair. Mr. Lightshow can help with that too. Gallery has a chair up there. Excellent. Good. Great. So here comes another stand. So Callan and Niv, you can go right back there. There's another music stand for you. Fantastic. Really good work. That's a lot of movement. Nice job. Yeah, so just find, you can stand there if you want to. You can go anywhere you like, Nora. Just anywhere that's comfortable for you. There's a seat up here also. If you're a first violin, there's an extra seat. Okay, it looks like we're almost safe enough. We'll turn some lights on. We'll play some Katy Perry. So this year we got to restart the Light Show Club. The Light Show Club was stopped, of course, during the pandemic, as basically everything was. And we've just restarted it this year. And Mr. Light Show has been working with about 9 students to build the production you're about to see. So Firework was created by a 6th grader in our Ionian Orchestra. His name is Armando, and he just performed on the 6 o'clock show. And here he gets to see his work performed with live music. And for the people that already know the Light Show Club, you know that I put on the headphones, our drummer puts on their headphones, and then we work together to be right with the lights. The lights are very specifically timed, and so we stay very, very steady. This is Katy Perry's Firework. Dragons with hit after hit. This is Believer. And this was designed, if my memory serves, by Ethan and... My memory's not serving right now. Many names. Ethan and another individual, if you could say your name right now. I know as an Indigo student.
Nathan. There you go.
Ethan and? Nathan, that's right, and Nathan was here until 10 p.m. last night helping us set all this up. Thank you to Ethan and Nathan. This next selection is Believer. Next up we have a special one. This was a request by Mr. Lightshow. He probably had this played at prom when he was growing up, and most of us also know it. This is Led Zeppelin's Kashmir.
It's not that cool. All the dads are like, okay, thanks.
it's not actually called this, but I can't. The title is, well, it's Please Be Quiet and Move Rhythmically. The real title is actually not even in the program, but it's Walk the Moon. You'll immediately recognize it, and then you'll smile once you put it together. Why I said, please be quiet and move rhythmically, which is a much more polite way to say this particular title. Here we go, you ready, kids? This is involving all 220 Avant, Indigo, and Chamber students. You're all ready in the back. Thanks so much, Indigo, for being so focused and ready. Here comes Please Be Quiet and Move Rhythmically. Thank you for being here for a pretty epic concert. This, we shoot for an hour and a half, but these kids are like, but can't we also play? Can't we also play? And like any good parent, I can say no for a while. And then we end up adding some more things to the program, but how nice if the thing they want to do is play more music. Again, about these 8th graders, they're just fabulous young people, and they're going on to do some really great things. It's become tradition to play Bittersweet Symphony as a way of thanking them, because it would, like we always talk about, it'd be strange if they were still here on campus next year. That wouldn't be the appropriate order of things, and they have to move on, they have to grow. But we as parents remember when they couldn't put their shoes on, and they could put their shoes on. They couldn't find their backpack, and now most of the time they can find their backpack. And they're off to high school, and these are big changes, and these are big moments in their life, and that's the title of the song, is that it's bittersweet. If things never ended, they wouldn't be special. So it's nice to have this experience with these wonderful young people, and this is a song that has become very meaningful to all of us in the Castellaro program, because we know it means that one stage is ending, but a new one is beginning. This is Bittersweet Symphony. keep the applause going. If you're an 8th grader, would you please stand on up, these wonderful 8th graders? And we know it's emotional, and it's hard to say, and it's hard to do transitions. So we also finished the night with just the toe tapper, and it's going to be Soul Bossa Nova by Quincy Jones. But I got to make sure we thank this very quick list. So if you hear your name, we ask that you come to the front, regardless if you're reluctant to. We have our high school helpers who are come giving out some flowers, but I'm going to have them all come up, and then we're going to give them a huge round of applause. But just to get them up here quickly, if we could have Charlene and Maria and Reba and Andrea, Sonia, Hoda, Karen, Davina, Ami, and Kyla. These incredible people are making this program happen. I know I just got a lot of nice words said about me, but it's not me, right? It's us. It's all of us working together. Charlene is technically retiring from the CNBC presidency. Her term is up, but she's going to probably keep supporting and finding ways to help. She's been leading CNBC and been part of a wonderful parent for years and years. We have Maria Kim, who's our treasurer, who's also graduating. She's been the treasurer for CNBC, always around and always helpful. We have Reba Thomas, who's been our fundraising VP. She's also graduating. The young man Ethan, that was her kiddo, who eats all the pizza at my house. And we have Andrea, who was doing fundraising, but thankfully she's raised her hand and said, yes, I can fill in for Maria and I can do treasure, so we're very excited about that appointment. We have Miss Sonia, who's been our orchestra rep, and she got to start. Oh, fantastic, huh? Yeah. And her role is changing. She her full-time position has exploded, and she's traveling all over and doing all sorts of work, and she's still managing all these things and all these concerts. So she'll be tag teaming all these events. If you want to be part of these events, she will certainly help and enjoy and appreciate that. We have Hoda and Karen. They're both just longtime volunteers. They've been chaperones on so many adventures and trips, and their kids are finally out of here. I know all 4 of the Knowlers started way back when and finishing with their 2 8th graders this year. What an incredible group of parents. Davina has been doing all of our program designs for years and years and years, and Orion is graduating. She is, it says right here in the notes, has graciously staying on because she has another kid coming in 2 years. So she's like, why stop? Let's keep going. So, but she's still being honored tonight. And then we have Miss Ami. We would not have been able to do the Disney trip without her. So much medication, so much medication.
I thought it was.
And of course we want to once again thank Derwin for being here and having his wonderful piece of midnight rhyme performance. Thank you, Derwin. A big thank you to Kayla Bibbleman. She is an aspiring teacher. She's going into the credentialing program. She's been helping at Simons, helping here at Castellero. Thank you for all that you're doing for Castellero now and what you're about to do for decades for the public schools. And then, of course, I need to make sure I thank my family who comes to everything because we're a family of musicians. My mom, who started me many, many years ago as a 6-year-old violinist and turned into a cellist and followed her around from program to program. She was here tuning. My wife, who still teaches, she's at Fisher Middle School, and we met, playing instruments, and most of you at this point know that story. And here we are 21 years later teaching, 30 years since that first date when we were in a quartet together. Pretty sure that was a planned marriage by our parents. But my daughter who gets drugged to everything, my son who doesn't only get drugged to everything but gets asked to, play the cello or maybe play the bass or maybe, tonight play the drums. a lot of folks. You know, the teachers on campus are so supportive, they're so kind, it's so great tonight. I know we have at least Ms. O'Connor and Mr. Teeple here. There's probably other teachers also listening. Thank you to the teachers. Thank you to our incredible administration, Kim Silva, Joe Jones, Ms. Campbell. And thank you to all of you. This is our last number. I promise it is Soul Bossa Nova.